having a beautiful, blessed day. I Hi everyone. I hope all is well and you're having a beautiful, blessed day. I know that the title of my video might sound scary, but it is not to glorify Satan. It is to fight against him. Our church started a new sermon series called "The Devil Made Me Do It," and the first sermon has to do with Satan's schemes. So there are a couple of truths, actually only two. There are two truths that we need to know about Satan. One is that he is real. Two is that deception is his favorite strategy. And that leads me to the next section of my notes. How do we overcome the devil's influence? One, by understanding how he works. And a verse that illustrates this comes from Ephesians 6, verse 11, and it says, "Put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes." And another verse that illustrates this is 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11, and it says, "In order that Satan might not outwit us, for we are not unaware of his schemes." The second thing that we need to do in order to overcome Satan's influence is by using spiritual weapons for spiritual battle. And the verse that illustrates this is, again, Ephesians 6, but this time it's verse 12. And it says, "For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, and against the powers of this dark world, against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms." And again, there is chapter 6 of Ephesians, verses 11 through 17 are listed, and it says, "Put on the full armor of God, the belt of truth, and the body armor of God's righteousness, the shield of faith, salvation as your helmet, and take up the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God." So knowing the word of God is very, very important because it is the tool that we use to fight against Satan's lies. Okay, so the number three thing that we need to know about how to deal with Satan's schemes. We need to not be panicked, but be prepared. It says, "Stay alert, watch out for your great enemy, the devil. He prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour." And that verse comes from 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8. And so our memory verse for this week comes from Romans 8, and it's verses 31 and 32. And it says, "If God is for us, who can ever be against us? Since he did not spare even his own son, but gave him up for us all, won't he also give us everything else?" So that's basically saying, if God is a loving God and he did not even spare his own son, but gave him up as a sacrifice for us, for everybody in the entire world, won't he give us every other good thing that we need? So, guys, I want you to walk away from this sermon, from these notes, knowing that God is a loving God. And if you have not accepted him yet in your life, all you have to do is say a simple prayer like, "God, I don't understand everything about you, but I understand that you love me and that you want to be in my life, and I accept you in my life." And I guarantee you guys, if you prayed that prayer, that He will come into your life and change it drastically. If you, in fact, you did pray that prayer, please leave me a comment down below, and I would love to pray for you and put you on my prayer list. I'll talk to